Hi everyone. I know there's going to be some questions about posting your SA3 rough drafts tonight, as we haven't posted rough drafts yet. And so there are a couple of other videos, but I just wanted to take a second to go through the process with you again. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel for more information and perspectives other than my own. You may find that some of my instructions aren't clear, and there are other people giving advice about how to use Google Drive and Google Docs for editing purposes on the YouTube channel. So go ahead and feel free to check that out. Okay, so we are in Unit 3, you can see, and oops, sorry about that. There are a couple of ways to get to the Google Drive. The easiest way is to click right over here, and when you click that, it will open the Drive folder directly for you, and all you have to do is go in and click E3. So when you click E3, it will open the folder, and you can see that my options are limited here. One of the reasons that my options are limited is because you can see over here, I'm not signed in with my UCMO email address. So when I sign in with my UCMO email address, it actually opens my folder. Excuse me. And if I click E3 drafts, then you can see this is a much more dynamic space, right? And this is actually where you will upload your files. And so if you see a screen like the one we just saw and you don't know how to add your documents, then chances are that you're not signed in with your UCMO email address, and you have to be signed in order to do this. So how do I add a document? If you right click here, you'll see all of the options, and we're going to upload a file. You can see here I'm in the E3 drafts file. So I'm going to click upload a file, and I'm just going to choose a random document to upload so that you can see what it looks like. And there you go, right there, everyone can see my document. So how do I make sure that everyone else can see my document? That's a really good question. So I want to go right click again and click share. And there are a few options here. If you want, you can make it so that anyone can access, or you can say anyone at the University of Central Missouri. This means that anyone at the University of Central Missouri can find it, access it, and down here, we want to be sure that they can edit it, because that's what we're doing for peer reviews, right? So be sure that you've either chosen public on the web or University of Central Missouri can find access. Make sure that you don't click the link, because we're not going to be sharing links with people. So once you've chosen your sharing options, go ahead and click save. And you'll see right away, anyone at the University of Central Missouri can find and edit, and I can make those changes there. If I'm done with this, go ahead and click done. And there is my document to be reviewed. So we've got the essay uploaded in to Google Docs and Google Drive. Where do I go from here? Okay, so you'll see here E3 peer review guidelines. If I click that, it's going to open this window. And here's another video about sharing your drafts on Google Drive. I just want to be sure to cover all the bases. And here are peer review instructions and peer review guidelines. These are two different documents that I will go over now with you. So peer review instructions are just kind of the generalized instructions for each peer review. So you can see here, you are required to review at least 2 peers' essays for each unit. However, you can complete up to 2 additional peer reviews for up to 10 points each. You should review essays that haven't been reviewed yet. You should also review new essays for each rough draft. That's to say, don't always edit the same person's, because that wouldn't be very fair. If you submit your rough draft late, you may not receive any feedback, so please adhere to the due dates. Because we're in an online summer class, the due dates are really strict, and especially with rough drafts, there's just not much room for flexibility. If your essay is late by a day or 2, you may miss out on feedback from your peers, so really be sure to keep in check with the Blackboard calendar. So first we're going to upload the draft, which is what I just showed you. And here is how your file should be named. So E, the number of the essay, your last name, RD. So for example, mine would be E3 Neeson RD. And we can see that here in the folder. And to go back to the instructions, edit your peers' drafts, open the document in the drive, rename the document by adding reviewed by your name. And for example, complete the peer review document by using track changes option and adding comments in Google Docs or Microsoft Word. It should save automatically, but you can also manually save. So I will show you a couple of ways to do this. So let's say I want to look at this essay. So here you'll see you don't have a chance to edit this, right? How do I edit then? Let's open it with Google Docs. And it will probably take a second. So now I've opened it in Google Docs. The first thing I want to do is look at the review. So I need to say, add the portion reviewed by your name. So how do I do that? Up here, reviewed, by Melody. So now when I go back to Google Drive, I will see an extra document that shows E3 reviewed by Melody. This is really important to name it the particular way that it's outlined in the instructions, because if you don't, it's really difficult for me to see whose information is whose and for your peers to see what feedback you've left them. So be sure to follow those instructions. So then we have a couple of options here. In case you're not familiar, there are further detailed instructions on YouTube, so you can watch those. But basically, we're going to want to choose editing or suggesting. I strongly suggest choosing suggesting so that any changes you make become suggestions and the author has to approve them. And then, of course, there's comments. So how do I comment? Just by clicking comment up here. You can also right-click, I believe. Yeah, comment, return to editing, you could submit a link, you could do a variety of things here. And so once you are done with this, so let's see, let me make a change here that we would see. I did that. So you'll notice here it says all changes saved in Drive. I can see the revision history. And then when I go here, I can open this up. Oops, wrong page, sorry. And I can see these suggestions from my peers. So because the suggestions for editing are suggestions, I have to say yes or no. If I say no, then it goes away. If I say yes, then it accepts the change. So how do we know what we're doing for peer review? Again, we're under E3 peer review guidelines. And here are the instructions. So this says fill out this document for each peer review you complete. And you can copy or paste it into the end of the essay, and I will show you how to do that here. So it's going to download. These are some instructions to give good feedback. So basically what I'm going to do is copy all of this, and you can approach this how you want, but this is basically what I'll be looking for. And I'm going to go to the end of this document, start a new page, and paste my suggestions. And then as I'm going through, I would go back and respond to these suggestions. And again, you'll see all changes saved in Drive. So if I click on this, it should show me the document at the end that I just copied and pasted in. There you go. So it will be really quick and easy to show your peers your suggestions and also to see what suggestions your peers have left for you. So be sure to review the peer review guidelines. Be sure to post your rough draft by 11:59 p.m. tonight. And if you run into issues, first check out the YouTube page. I will open that and show you where some of the documents are, or some of the videos, I guess, not documents. Let's see. Here, sharing your drafts on Google Drive, sharing your documents and files on Google Drive. And of course, too, you can Google and get some help about these things as well. So hopefully this will help you alleviate any problems that you might have with navigating how to use Google Drive. But if you run into questions or problems, please let me know.